For thousands of years, sailors returned from the sea with stories. Stories of something in the deep, something so large it could wrap its arms around an entire ship and pull it beneath the surface. They called it the Kraken, and for centuries, the world called them liars, fishermen, madmen, victims of their own fear. But they were not lying, because the Kraken is real. Not a legend, not a myth, not a story told to frighten children. Real. And scientists have finally found it. The first written descriptions of the Kraken appear over 1,000 years ago. Norse sailors described a creature so vast it was mistaken for an island. Ships would anchor beside it. Men would step onto what they thought was land. And then it would sink. In 1752, the Bishop of Bergen, a man of science and faith, wrote an official description of the Kraken. He estimated its body to be 1.5 miles wide. He was not a superstitious man. He was recording what sailors had seen. For centuries, every serious scientist dismissed these accounts. There was no evidence, no body, no proof, just stories, until the ocean decided to give us one. In 1853, something washed ashore on the coast of Denmark. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Enormous, grotesque, unmistakably real. A giant squid. Scientists who examined it struggled to find the right words. The arms alone were longer than a grown man is tall. But this was only the beginning. Over the following decades, more bodies appeared. On the beaches of Newfoundland, in the stomachs of sperm whales, in fishing nets dragged from the deep Atlantic. Each one larger than the last. The giant squid, Architeuthis dux, was real, and it was bigger than anyone had imagined. Up to 14 meters long, eyes the size of dinner plates, the largest eyes of any animal on Earth. Built to see, in a place where there is no light. The giant squid lives in the mesopelagic zone, between 200 and 1,000 meters below the surface. A world with almost no light, crushing pressure, near freezing temperatures. For most of human history, we had never seen a living giant squid, not once. Every specimen ever studied was already dead. Scientists knew it existed. They had measured its arms, weighed its mantle, studied its beak. But no one had ever watched one move. That changed in 2004. A Japanese research team lowered a camera into the Pacific Ocean, nearly 900 meters below the surface. And they waited. For hours, in silence, in the dark. And then, something came. Something enormous. Something they had never seen alive before. A giant squid moving through the deep ocean as if it owned the world below. Which it does.
When the footage was released,
scientists around the world fell silent. This was not a sluggish, passive creature. It was fast, aggressive, intelligent. The squid attacked the bait with a precision that stunned researchers. It was hunting, not drifting, not reacting. Hunting, like a predator that has spent millions of years perfecting the art of ambush in total darkness. In 2012, a second team captured footage in the Pacific, this time in the full glow of specialized deep-sea lights. For the first time in human history, we watched a giant squid, alive, in its natural habitat. It was silver, iridescent, almost beautiful, and it was massive. The scientists on board said later that when they watched the footage back, none of them spoke. They just watched. Here is the question scientists cannot fully answer. How large does the giant squid actually get? The largest confirmed specimen measured nearly 14 meters, about 45 feet. But sperm whales, the only natural predator of the giant squid, have been found with sucker scars on their skin, larger than any sucker on any squid we have ever recovered. Much larger. Scars that suggest squid with arms wider than a human torso, bodies the length of a city bus. We have never caught one of these animals. We have only seen the marks they leave behind on the bodies of the only creatures large enough to fight them, and sometimes lose. But the giant squid is not the largest squid in the ocean. In 1925, scientists examining the stomach of a sperm whale found something that didn't make sense. Tentacles, thicker than any giant squid had ever produced, armed not with suckers, but with sharp, rotating hooks. It took decades for a full specimen to surface. When it did, scientists named it Mesonechotuthis hamiltoni, the colossal squid. Larger than the giant squid, heavier than the giant squid, with hooks instead of suckers, designed to tear flesh. In 2007, a fishing vessel in Antarctic waters accidentally caught one. It weighed nearly 500 kilograms. Its eyes were 30 centimeters across, the largest eyes ever recorded on any living creature. And scientists believe it was not fully grown. Whatever a fully grown colossal squid looks like, we have never seen one. It is still down there, in the dark, in the cold, waiting. Go back to the sailors, the men who returned from sea, with stories of something massive, something that rose from below, something that could pull a ship down. They were not wrong. They were describing what they saw. Giant squid are known to breach the surface at night, to attack boats they mistake for prey, to leave sucker scars on wood and rope. In 2003, a French yacht in the South Atlantic was attacked by what witnesses described as a giant squid. The creature wrapped its arms around the hull. The crew watched it. They were not afraid, they were certain. This was the Kraken. Not a myth, not a legend. A real animal, living in the real ocean, that humans have shared a planet with for our entire existence, and only just begun to understand. The ocean covers 70% of this planet. We have explored less than 20% of it. Less than 20. In that unexplored 80%, in the places where no light reaches and no human has ever been, something is moving. Something large, something ancient, something we do not have a name for yet. The Kraken was real, and if the Kraken was real, what else is still down there, waiting to be found? If this made you look at the ocean differently, leave a comment below with one word that describes what you felt watching this. And if you want to keep going deeper into the secrets the ocean has kept from us for millions of years, subscribe to Below Zero. We are just getting started.